Hello and welcome to the Ballsy Podcast. This is episode 9. I'm your host, Alvin, aka Sportsmanship. And Wemby is out for the season. Victor Wembanyama is out due to a season-ending injury. And the NBA can learn a lot from the NHL Allstar format. So reports from Shams are that Wemby has a blood clot in his shoulder. Apparently, it's a serious condition, and it's worse than, like, say, an ACL or ligament or a broken bone. It could be life-threatening in the most severe cases. So hopefully this is manageable for Wembanyama, and we wish him all the best. It's a devastating blow to the Spurs organization. Greg Popovich is out due to having a stroke earlier in the season. And that young core in San Antonio has been building legitimate potential. They just got De'Aaron Fox. And we all wanted to see what kind of chemistry him and Wemby could have developed as the season went on. But not only the Spurs suffer, but it's also a blow to the NBA as a league. Wembanyama was looked at as a player that could be the next face of the NBA. And, we've never seen a player with his skill set and at that size. Never really in the history of basketball have we seen someone like this. And once again, what comes out is always the stigma about the tall, skinny center and how they could be prone to injury. So that's another thing that comes up. Although this is more not really a physical thing. It's just something unfortunate that's happened to Wemby. And so here for today's top 5 or 5, we're going to have 5 devastating injuries in light of this that have really altered the careers of some of these players in the NBA. So we're going to start with Greg Oden, who suffered a microfracture in his knee, and he missed his entire rookie season. Obviously, this led to more problems, and he never really had a career. So there were high hopes for Greg Oden, and, he was a number 1 pick. And unfortunately, he missed his rookie season, and, this was pretty bad. Next on the list is Zion Williamson, who missed the entire 2001-2002 season because of a fractured foot. Obviously, another number 1 pick. You're talking about just the expectations on Zion Williamson. To this day, we're still waiting to see that guy that we saw at Duke that we thought was going to take over the league and maybe be the face one day. Next up, we got Blake Griffin, who fractured his kneecap and missed his whole rookie season in 2009-2010. Blake went on to have a great career. So this was a good sign in terms of someone who had an injury and had high expectations, although not as high as Greg Oden, but was able to recover and have a great career. Next, we have Derrick Rose, who tore his ACL in the playoffs, and he missed the entire next season, the 2012 to 2013 season. And unfortunately, Derrick Rose was never the same after this injury. He just was he was gonna be an amazing player, youngest ever league MVP. Just devastating what happened to him. And last, we have Chet Holmgren. He injured his right foot in a Pro-Am game against LeBron James, and he missed out his whole rookie year. Another guy who has high expectations, who missed his whole rookie year due to an injury, but came back and had a great season. He got injured again this year, but he's back now, and he still looks pretty good. So hopefully, fingers crossed, knock on wood, um, he has a great career as well. He's somebody that's looked at as Wembanyama's arch nemesis. I'm sure it's all healthy and respectful competition between those two, but yeah, Chet has had his issues as well. So moving on, little hockey. So the NHL All-Star Four Nations face-off was a big success. The NBA can learn a lot from this. I mean, we'll see what happens in the future. I said in the previous episode, the NBA is gonna have to start from scratch and go back to East and West, at least for now. But for the NHL, they had record ratings, so it looks like this might be a format that's here to stay for the NHL. And the final in the face-off was the USA versus Canada. Canada, who won 3-2 in sudden death overtime. The atmosphere was electric. The game was exciting. There was passion. There was grit. Everything you want in a sports game. So this is what's missing from the NBA. And a notable thing is that before the finals, these two teams, USA and Canada, they met during the round robin portion of this All-Star format, and they had 3 fights in 9 seconds. Just like, obviously there's bad blood between these players and these teams, and how much more entertainment can you have? This is like the pinnacle almost. Great things for the NHL. Like I said previously, I'm going to start diving into the NHL and to hockey, and put up some and show you guys on my journey. We'll move on to a little soccer, taking a break from the men's. The She Believes Cup 2025 edition has started. The U.S. women's national team beat a quality Colombia team 2-0 to start the tournament. The USA is looking to defend their championship, so we'll keep an eye on this good little women's tournament. That should be fun. So some off-season news. Baseball. The Yankees get rid of their beard ban. So if you didn't know, the Yankees had a policy where you had to shave your beard and your hair couldn't be basically like past your neck length, or you can't, or like your shoulder length. Hal Steinberger said he wanted to change things up. It seemed to be an antiquated policy that his father implemented in the 70s, and he didn't want to lose on signing a player because of this policy. So it's a big deal in terms of the Yankees, and they've always had this. Everybody's always known that if you go to the Yankees, you got to shave and you got to be clean cut. And I don't know how I feel about this policy. The Yankees, I kind of like the policy. I never thought it was a big deal. I thought that the Yankees have earned the right as, the most successful franchise in American sports to have this kind of policy, this clean cut policy. I didn't think it was a big deal to have to shave. But I guess to get with the times, I guess it was implemented in the 70s. Like, that's like when people started to like really grow their hair out, and George Steinbrenner wanted to keep the Yankees clean cut. Prior to that, in society, everybody shaved. So the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. Like, if you look at all the Yankees photos, players, no one really has beards, but I think that's just because society as a whole, men just shaved around that time. And then, you have the hippies of the 60s and some 70s. That's probably when the whole growing out your beard thing came I never mind the no beard policy, the clean. I thought it was like a cool, not a cool thing, but I always thought that it's the Yankees, so they're on a different level. There's a different standard, so that was part of that Yankee way, and so they get it. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, now Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I mean, who knows? That's going to be the top free agent, first baseman. So we'll see. I guess I was kind of against getting rid of this policy. I didn't mind it. I thought it was warranted as the Yankees and as the team that they are. So I have mixed feelings of it. But that it is what it is. I mean, what can you say? I respect Hal Steinbrenner for making this decision. You know, I actually like him as an owner, and I gotta respect. Even though I probably would disagree with getting rid of the policy, I respect him making the decision and looking towards the future. And the Yankees have a good. I think the Yankees have a good future with Hal Steinbrenner at the helm. And that is it for this episode of the Ballsy Podcast. I'm your host, Alvin, a.k.a. Sportsmanship, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.